Hi. Bye, Shelby. Have a good day, baby.
All right, episode 1. Let's get started. Well, first things first, we got to get to the gym, which is somewhat of its own problem because, as you can see, we lost power last night at about 1 a.m., which means it's a little bit harder to get out of the garage. So let's get the Jeep, let's open the door, and let's go put in the workout. All right, out of the house, and I'm thinking we might get a coffee before we go to the gym. The coffee machine's off, and usually I don't like to start my morning without a coffee. So we'll do that. But first, if you notice over there, that's the reason why we don't have power. Looks like about 1 o'clock in the morning, somebody in F-150 smashed right into that power line there and the pole. And yeah. So be careful when you're driving out there. The road was slick last night. I don't know if any other reasons were involved. I'm not gonna assume, but yeah, slippery conditions, 1 a.m. Looks like a pretty high speed. Make of it whatever you want, but just be safe out there. All right, let's go get a coffee. All right. Usually I don't like to eat before I work out. Doesn't really sit too well with me, but I didn't have any dinner last night, and so I'm feeling a little cheeky. I think it's time to order something a little bad, but good. I mean, it's really good, but it's bad. Let's get it.
Hi there, you collecting points on the app today?
No, I'm not.
Okay, what can I get for you?
Can I get a small black coffee and a bacon McGriddle? All right, got my coffee, got my sandwich. I think it's time to find a spot by the lake. Ooh, speed bump. Find a spot by the lake to have breakfast. I don't know of a lot of sandwiches that are better than a bacon egg McGriddle. All right, quick little update. Gym is done. Took the dogs for a walk, and now it's time to have some fun. We're gonna go meet up with my friend Brighton and his 4Runner. We're taking the juice box here, my good old Wrangler, old 2025. We're gonna take that out for a little cruise. We're heading towards Summerland, and from there, we're gonna see if we can find some trails to explore, somewhere we haven't been before. So stick around, and let's see where the road takes us today. Alrighty, just got to Summerland. I'm gonna stop and get some gas. Brighton should be here any minute. Really should have stopped and get gas in Penticton. A little bit more expensive here in Summerland. It's 137.9 a liter, which if you're in America, that would be about 12 cents a gallon for you guys, I think, right now. Yeah. Let's put some old dinosaur juice into the juice box and go from there. And here comes Brighton. Look at that 4Runner. What's up, buddy? Yeah, I just put some dinosaur juice in the juice box.
Thank God for the T-Rex.
Good to see you.
Likewise.
I like that you didn't bring a clean vehicle.
Well, why would I clean it?
Well,
Get dirty.
yeah, exactly. Me, on the other hand, I wash my vehicle before I get it dirty, just so I can get it dirty again. Hey?
The problem over there is too clean.
It's too clean. Well, hopefully we can fix that today.
Better something about it.
Yeah. Right, so the plan is to head out from here in Summerland. We're gonna drive out to a town we've never been to before.
Okay.
We're gonna head up a trail we've never been to before.
So fresh tracks.
Fresh tracks. The good news is that according to Onyx, it's only a 2 out of 10.
Okay.
So we should be able to do that.
Lightweight.
Lightweight. Probably gonna air down a little bit because I'm still on highway pressure. But it should be about probably 15-20 minute ride before we get to where we need to air down.
All right.
Go from there.
Any little tricks off the trail?
There are quite a few, and then there's a lake again.
Oh, I like it.
So-
Destination, waypoint.
Yeah. So we'll go there and we'll show you the way.
Fueling up for a big day. Yeah.
Just on our way and we noticed a little quad trail. Being the curious guys that we are, we decided to just go exploring. We came across is pretty much like a playground of all sorts of different trails and climbs. Onyx is saying we're just in the middle of some open field, but there's a couple of good climbs here. So figured, why not check them out?
Looks like a nice little climb on your right.
I think it would be rude not to try it.
Couldn't agree more. Ooh, testing my articulation. And that's the bumper.
Well, when the plastic breaks, we'll get some metal ones.
That's what I figured. If the bush eats it, the bush eats it.
The bush eats first. The camera never does it justice, but it does get pretty steep up there. Now, right over there, it looks a little bit more steep and definitely a lot more slick.
I like that.
But, yeah, some fun roads up there.
Only one way for you to find out.
I guess I'm gonna go and check it out. No lockers, just 4-wheel drive and maybe a little bit of 8-track. So close. That was so close. I think we're gonna have to start calling him Air Brighton. He definitely got some air on that one. Wonder how that felt inside the car.
Nice!
That's about all the skinny pedal she's got in her with all lockers.
Hey, you beat your own record. Hey, can I get a ride?
Yeah, if you don't feel like staying alive. Yep, I don't know who it's more sketchy for.
Oh, that's way better than exercise.
Oh, sorry about the back camera work, but that was pretty tight. I am pretty sure we're on trails meant for side-by-sides. And the gaps between the trees are, well, they're measured with inches at some spots here, if I'm honest. No idea where we're going. Alright, we're gonna take a stop here and take a look because that is definitely too narrow for my vehicle and I don't know what's down there.
See something you don't like?
I just had a pine tree in my window. Smells great.
Natural.
Who needs air freshener when you can just bushwhack?
All right, it's getting a little bit interesting there. This is a good shot. Oh my God, I think I found a thumbnail. All right, let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
This is pretty narrow here. And Brighton's over there. He's just about as wide as me, I think. So this is definitely a little bit slow.
I'll just walk in and start charging it.
Think skinny. Well, we found ourselves at kind of a dead end here in this playground, and we're trying to figure out how to get back to the main road. Of course, amateur hour on my part, I didn't bother recording my route on Onyx. So we're gonna have to play a little bit of a guessing game of how to get out of here. Got my map open, so that should at least help us find somewhat of a trail, but because this is all kind of unmapped yet, this is a little bit of a game right now. They come across some deer, which was pretty cool. And now back between these tight trees. Oh, this is sketchy. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna wait for Brighton because he's a little bit further back. Trying to figure out how to get out of here. All right, well, we got out of that mess.
Yeah, that was fun though.
That was fun. Really tight at some spots.
Oh, buddy. Got some extra pinstriping, got some air freshener in here. Didn't kill the car though.
No, but now we're here in the middle of the playground where we started. If we stick to the right there is a wide trail for vehicles. I'm gonna use that to get us to the road and see if we can get to that lake that we were originally planning on.
Yeah, see that trail we were just on is skinny Jeeps and skinny jeans. That'd be such we need for that one, man. Like,
I ain't got no skinny jeans no more.
and you got no skinny Jeep neither.
No,
So
but I am thankful for the mirrors. I noticed how much further those stick out on the 4Runner, and these are pretty narrow.
Yeah, I pushed them back out a couple times.
Yeah. Well, over there it looks like pretty much a mountain bike trail now.
See, I think of that as like my early warning system.
That's a good way to think of
Like
it.
how a cat has whiskers.
Yeah, that's your
Or does it have
whiskers.
mirrors?
All right, let's take the mountain bike trail down to the road
Okay.
and go from there.
All right.
All right. Alrighty, a little change of scenery. We are 5 minutes away from the lake, and it is all snow here. What a difference! Literally 10 minutes down the road from where we were. Nice, sunny. Now we're up here, a little bit higher elevation, a little bit of tail fishing there. And yeah, let's get to that lake. Alrighty, we are here. Dark Lake, Darky Lake, Darkay Lake. Let me know how you pronounce that. I have no idea. English is not my first language. It's not even my second language. Bright on the radio. It seems like his is just back working again. So I'm excited to see this lake. All right, well, we made it. It is absolutely beautiful here. I don't know. I find that even when it's overcast, cloudy, foggy, doesn't matter. It's one of the prettiest views in the winter. Doesn't hurt being in the Okanagan as well. I mean, there's just so much natural beauty here. Yeah, show you a little bit around. Yeah, I don't really know much about this. What I can tell you is it is pretty warm, and it looks like a lot of this is pretty slushy. I don't want to go too far down just because I don't feel like getting wet today. Yeah, not a huge lake, kind of a remote spot. Sure glad we found that little playground coming here, because the way here wasn't that exciting. Wasn't a whole lot going on, and looked like it was a fairly easy ride. There's a Honda Odyssey van here, so don't really need four-wheel drive. But yeah, definitely fun finding something along the way that you didn't expect. I guess it's kind of part of the journey and part of the trip. So we'll definitely map that and save it on Onyx for future time. I think it was a mountain bike trail based on all the little ramps and how narrow it was. So it'll be interesting getting back there in the summer, or maybe when it's a little bit more muddy. But one thing I definitely noticed is that I need lockers. I need lockers, and I knew that pretty much the first time I went off-roading. I don't know if I made a mistake not buying a Rubicon. I mean, I love the orange. It's definitely a big reason why I bought that one. And I don't think I'm going to spend the money on putting lockers and everything in it. So I think what I'll probably end up doing is lifting it, getting more aggressive tires. And then hopefully that will keep me happy for the next few years. Probably won't. I know I won't. I'm just lying to myself. So yeah, I'm going to hang out here for a bit with these people by the fire. And then I don't know if we'll take the same road back or we're going to go through the Peachland way. Apparently there's another route, which should be about probably half hour, 40 minutes to get to the highway. So yeah, chat with Brighton, see what he wants to do, and we'll go from there.
Lots of little babies. A bunch of guys were around the corner there. All these other truckers, bunch more. They're all.
Well, buddy.
Making friends, buddy. Those people are my people.
There you go. Beautiful spot here.
Yeah. Yeah, they're saying if you're going to go ice fishing, they go further up.
Yeah, it looked like it was pretty slushy. I don't know if I want to try it today.
No, fuck no. You want to go driving on it?
Definitely not.
Oh, ice racing?
No, do not need to get wet today.
Hey, insurance companies pay retail.
One way to get a Rubicon.
Yeah.
All right, so basically from here we can either take the same way, or I think we can get to Peachland somehow.
Well, he said there's a track that kind of goes up the hill. He said a few people went up early today. Might be a few holes up there, but it's worth taking a shot, I think.
Well, hey puppies. Well, let's take a look at Onyx, see what it tells us.
Okay.
And
Not sponsored by Onyx. Sponsor us, please.
Please, not yet, but hopefully soon. Yeah, let's take a look and plan out a route.
All right.
Well, status update. We have decided to take another route we don't know, which will lead us to Peachland. So for those of you who don't know, Peachland is just north of Summerland along the Okanagan Lake. And this is a back road just west of Peachland. So the people at the campfire told us that some folks have gone through here already today, and hopefully it's all right. I'm aired down to about 29 psi. Still kind of playing around with different pressures until I get comfortable getting lower. These are stock rims with stock tires, I guess. They are the upgraded all-terrain, but they're still OEM stock upgraded. So some people have told me I can go down to 20 psi, which on some spots I feel like could have helped me, but one day we'll try it. For now, we're bumming around at a steady 14 kilometers an hour, which again, for those of you who are Americans, that means some miles per hour. I have no idea. I'll probably put a bubble in there and see if I can do the math. Beyond that, hopefully this trail stays fun and we can make it home. Otherwise, we'll turn around again. But all part of exploring. So far, so good. Getting a little bit of rain now, which, given how it's +1 degrees Celsius, which this one, for my American friends, I do happen to know it's roughly 34 degrees Fahrenheit. So there, not utterly useless. Yeah, Onyx, because I'm an idiot, nothing to do with Onyx. Again, please sponsor me. I didn't download the offline map. So we're going based on what we think we know. This is generally how we got through life so far. Now, what that means is, oh, look at that. Just as I said that, we got Onyx back on. And it seems like we're on the right trail. So that is excellent news. Now I'm gonna plug in and see how far away we are from the highway. Whoa, there is definitely a little side bash. Bone stock.
You took the wrong way.
We are not too far off. Basically, we are right here, and we need to get to somewhere around there. So we're gonna follow this trail, which I think goes up to here, and then we turn right, and then turn right there. So yeah, let's keep going, and let's see what we can find. Looks like we got an obstacle here, and of course, us being us, we don't carry chainsaws or anything. Looks like Brighton is just clearing some logs there ahead, trying to set a path for us. What a big, strong guy Brighton is. He was also complaining that he didn't feel like working out again today. There he is doing manual labor, our least favorite thing in the world. All right. It looks like it shouldn't be difficult at all. Easy does it. Definitely not the way to ask it. way to Aspen?
I think that way.
That way?
Yeah, that way.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right, we are now in the deep fog and we're heading down, which means we're getting close. Oh, it's a log on the road and a little tight. We are 10 kilometers away from basically where we're gonna separate on the highway, which again, for the American ones, that's roughly 6 miles in your world. And so hopefully from here on, ooh, it's fun going sideways. Hopefully from here on it's smooth sailing. It's always nice when the last couple kilometers are easy and you don't have to worry about getting back home. I will say this about the Wrangler. For being a brand new stock 2025 Wrangler Sahara, this thing does incredibly well. I've taken it off-road now, I don't know, 5-6 times or so in the last 4 months I've had it. And there's only been a few spots where I couldn't make it. Definitely could use lockers and a lift, but for its current setup and for the beautiful trails we got here, I gotta say it's doing really well. It also doesn't hurt having heated seats, heated steering wheel, Alpine sound system, big screen, which is really handy when you're trying to have a quick glimpse at it. So yeah, I am very, very satisfied with this vehicle. Brighton decided to stop. See how Brighton is doing. He seems like a happy guy.
Y'all like doing them burnouts? How about in slow motion?
Man, it is so much fun around these slow corners.
So just get a bit ahead of me, take your traction control off, and I want you to fucking stop and then just pin it. Like fucking pin it. I'm gonna film it in slow motion and see what kind of rooster tail you can make.
Okay.
All right.
I'll put it in 2-wheel.
Fuck yeah.
We're gonna have to bleep a lot with Brighton. Well, we were about to do like a goodbye video, but Brighton just surprised me with a happy belated birthday gift. I've always wanted this hat. This is from Odin MFG, my boys in Calgary. Obviously, I love orange.
Camo, orange,
buddy. It was made for you. I can't believe you didn't have it already.
This is like the best ending to a perfect day.
I know. I almost forgot too.
This is awesome.
Yeah, it was
thank you
excellent.
so much.
Playground was great. The trail was great. Had some good obstacles. Had some good fun. Loved the burnouts in slow motion. That was kind of interesting. I like that.
Yeah, a little bit of slick ice on some of the roads there.
Met some new friends.
Met some new friends.
Yeah.
Warmed up by the fire. I mean, we got everything we bargained for today.
Yeah, it was actually literally a perfect day.
Yeah, perfect day.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that's about it for tonight. We're gonna go home and we'll catch you at the next one. Peace. Thanks for watching.